నేను చేసుకుంటున్నాను ఆ రెఫరెన్స్ కోసం. స్టార్ట్ చేసుకో స్టార్ట్
Reading, sir.
So what we discussed in our last session? So yesterday we discussed, first we discussed generics. So what is the need of generics concept we discussed. Then after that we discussed. After that we started the reading concept we started. Then after that briefly, just we started the collection. We started. So today's session will discuss completely the collections framework. Today's session completely will discuss the collections concept. One or two classes will close Moja. Then we'll start up. Android will start. Android. So how many of you know Android? Drag and drop is not Android. So remember this point. Android means not drag and drop. So now how many of you know Android?
Hello? Hello?
It's a sixth day, right? So high energy levels also decrease a lot. So here 3 hours and morning 3 hours, almost 6 hours a day. I will stand and I will teach value 6 to 7 hours. It's a continuous 7 day, right? So my energy levels also. So shall we start? So we start the collections framework. We'll start what? Collections. So collections means what? Yesterday briefly I explained what is the need of collections. First of all, collection is a framework. Collection is what? Collection is a framework. Framework means set of classes and interfaces. Set of classes and interfaces. Next, set of classes and interfaces. This is meant by framework. Collection is also one of the framework, meaning this collection framework contains some set of classes and interfaces. So generally, what is the need of collections? So collections is used to maintain the data in the application. So if you want to maintain some data in the application, we use collections. If you want to maintain some data in the application, we use what? Collections we use. Best example, to discuss an example. Collection is a framework. So framework means a set of classes and interfaces. So by the main use of collections is used to maintain the data in the application. For example, permanently, this data is permanently or temporary? Temporary or permanent? Temporary. For example, let us take Flipkart.com. There are n number of products are there, right? The user also can purchase n number of products. For example, for each and every product, I cannot pay the bill, right? So generally, what I will do, I'll select add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. So finally, at end, when user selects add to cart, every time, in my application, at somewhere I have to store the values. What are the products he selected? At least some product ID. Correct or not? So in the application, I want to maintain the data. The application, I want to maintain the data, not permanent. When user close the browser, I don't want to maintain the data. When user open the browser, then I want to maintain the data. So in the application, if you want to maintain some data, generally we use collections. Before that collections, if you want to maintain some data, we have some arrays. Before the collections, if you want to maintain some data, for example, 10 products if you want to store, generally what we use arrays, right? If you want to store some similar type of data, we use arrays. But here, arrays is having a problem. What is the problem? You cannot allocate the memory dynamically. Let us take Flipkart.com. So let us take one user, he purchased only one item. Let us take other user purchased 100 items. Let us take one more user purchased maybe 1000 items. We cannot estimate the user, right? Correct or not? As well as you cannot specify initially, let us say, okay, 1 lakh items you cannot specify. For example, you specify the array size is 1 lakh, but user is purchased only one item. What about the remaining size? Waste. In arrays, there is a lot of memory waste because here only you have to specify the size. That is the main problem with arrays. So the alternative to the arrays is collections. Okay. To avoid the memory wastage, in the arrays, generally we prefer to go for collections. Not only memory wastage, there are other things also there. We'll discuss what are other things. Okay. So this is collections framework. Mainly in this collections framework, if you want to understand the collections framework, mainly you have to understand the 9 interfaces. In this collections framework, mainly it contains how many interfaces? 9 interfaces. You know about what is in the interface, right? For example, I want to describe some specific task to someone. I want to describe about my task to someone. Let us say I have some idea. I want to specify my idea to someone. Generally, which one is the first one? The class or the interface? Interface only. To describe your product or to describe about your idea, interface is the first one than the class. Let us take I have one project idea. Let us take I'll specify login, validate user, next registration. Okay. So like I'll configure some list of methods in the interface. Interface doesn't contain any implementations. Interface doesn't contain any implementations. Only it's like a syntax kind of interface. Okay. So here in collections interface, mainly there are total 9 interfaces are there. If you understand all these interfaces and if you understand where we have to use all these interfaces, then you know collections concept. The most critical concept in the entire Java is collections. Using collections is easy only, but where, in which scenario or in which case we have to use which collection, that selection is difficult here. Okay, so total, just I list out the 9 collections, 9 interfaces in the collections. That is, the first one is a collection interface. So mainly collections contains 9 interfaces. There are other interfaces also there, but these are the main interfaces. Total 9 things you have to understand. Okay. So I'll give a list. The first one is the collection is one thing. Collection is one interface. Collection, next. Collection is one interface. List, next. Set, map, Fina. Huh? Tree is not a collection. Okay. So mainly, generally the people says, some people says these are the main collection interfaces: list, set, map, and queue. Okay. So apart from this, We have few more things like sorted set, sorted set, navigable set, sorted set, navigable set. Next, vector is one of the collection implementation. So how many collections are how many interfaces are completed? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? We'll discuss. Okay. When you start the concept, definitely you get the last 7 things. What is the last one? Okay. List, set, map, queue. Next, sorted set, navigable set, hash map, and navigable. These are the 9 interfaces in the collections. If you know all these 9 interfaces, where and when we had to use all these collection, all these interfaces, then you know collections concept. So mainly collections concept is used to maintain the data in the application, right? Mainly the collections concept is used to maintain collections concept is used to maintain the data in the application. Maintain the data in the sense, generally what we will do on the data. What you can do with the data was, all the software engineers will do only one thing only. They will perform only 4 operations only. What are the 4 operations? They will write the data, insert the data, read the data, update the data, and delete the data. So here also, collections concept also, which is used to manage the data in the application. Manage the data in the sense, we'll also perform these 4 things only, right? To perform these 4 things, the first interface is a collection. What is the first interface? Collection is an interface. The first interface is a collection. To perform these, to manage the data, the collections is providing one interface called collection interface. This collection interface is having some common methods. Let us take in whatever it may be, if you take anything, let us take list or set or map or anything. We have to insert some data. For inserting the data, it is providing a method called add. For reading the data, there is a method called get method. To remove a data, there is a method called remove is a method. Okay. So like collections framework is having one interface called collection. So which is having some common functionalities for all the collection interfaces. For example, if you want to see the methods, so go to the command prompt, java c java dot util dot. So what is the interface name? Collection. We'll set the path for this one. Java is not available. We'll configure. So now java p java dot util dot. What is the interface name? Collection is an interface name. Java p java dot util dot collection is the interface name. See, what are the methods? Size is one method. Is empty. Next, iterator, toArray, add, remove, contains, add all. These are the collection interface methods. These are the collection interface methods. These methods are common for all the interfaces. Meaning, we are going to use list, set, map, and queue. So whatever it may be, you can take any interface But these are the common methods we have to perform. For adding the data, which method we use? Add method we use. For deleting the data, there is a method called remove is a method. For example, if you want to remove all the records, there is a method called clear is a method. So I want to check whether it is empty or the collection contains any values. There is a method called isEmpty is a method. I want to get the collection size is a method. So this interface contains some list of methods which is applicable for all the interfaces for list, set, map, and view. Generally, the people says in the market is collection interface is a supermost. I mean, the main root node. This collection interface is a root node for all the interfaces for list, set, map. Okay, but we'll see whether it is an exact answer or not. Okay, what the people says. This collection interface is a main root interface for all the other interfaces like list, set, map, and queue. But finally, at end we'll discuss really this is a root interface or not. We'll discuss at end. Okay. Next. So have you understand the collection interface first of all? To manage the data, we are having some built-in methods. These methods are available in the collection interface. Next. So what is the next one? List. So we have different collections. We have different collection interfaces. So one of the interface is what? List. First, try to understand when we have to go for list. If your requirement is you want to store some data in the application. Okay, let us take I want to store some data in the application. I don't want to maintain any so let us say I don't want to concern any duplicates, meaning the user can enter duplications. Next, I want to maintain the insertion order, in which order the user is inserted. In the same format, I want to give the data to the user. This is my requirement. So what is the requirement? I want to allow the duplications. That is the one thing. Second thing is what? In which order the user is inserted, the same order I want to store the data. This is my application requirement. Generally, we will get requirement. For example, let us take I want to maintain some employee salaries. Let us take same salary can contain multiple employees or not? Yes, same salary, multiple employees can contain. So at that time, duplications can allow. Correct or not? But I want to maintain the data in an insertion order, in which order I inserted the data. So at that time, we'll prefer to go for list. What? List. So list is providing, collection is having some built-in methods to manage the data. Apart from the built-in methods, apart from the collection methods, list is providing some other methods. Okay. So list is a subtype of collection. List is what? List is also an interface. Collection is also an interface. The interface can extend another interface. So if you want to see that one, so Java C, Java dot util dot. So what is the interface name? List is the interface name. So here, these are the additional methods. Few methods are inherited from the collection. Java.util.list. And what is this one? Generic. It's a generic type. Yesterday we discussed the generic, why you have to use generic in the collections. Extends java.util.collection, meaning it is an interface. This interface is already a subtype of another interface called collection. So here automatically you will get the collection methods as well as list methods. See, we got few methods which is from collection. This size is also a method of collection. isEmpty a collection. Contains. Collection is having contains method. Collection is having contains method. Check here. So contains is also having. 1 minute. We'll compare these two methods. Next, any new methods you email get set. Okay. Get set. Next option. So we specify Java P, Java dot util dot. It's a list interface, right? This is a collection interface methods. So now compare. So which one is available and which one is not available? So which one is available and which one is not available? Right? Size we are having next, ease and D we are having next.
Content.
So contains next, iterator, URA next, add, remove. I think up to is same. Up to hash code. Hash code. Hitting. So next, what are the additional methods here? Get, set method,
Set method.
add comma e, remove, index of, last index of. So these are the additional methods in the list interface. These are the additional methods in the list interface. If you observe here, for adding the data collection is given a method. To add the data collection is given a method. But to read the data collection is given a method. Is there any method? No, right. But in the list you have a method. What is the method? Get. So here the internal data structure for the list is array. What is the internal data structure for the list? Array is the internal data structure. Meaning internally arrays is using what? Sorry, internal list is using what? Arrays only. Okay. So list is an interface, right? So remember all these methods. These are the additional methods. Which one? Get, set, add, remove, index of, last index of. List writer. You see all these methods once again, one after another. So internal data structure for list is arrays. Maintain the data in a arrays only. Okay, but it's not a normal array. It's a resizable array. It's not a normal array. It is what? It is a resizable array. So list is an interface. List is an interface. For interface, definitely we need some implementation classes or not? Yes. List is an interface. The implementation classes for this list interface is, so generally first, when you had to choose this list, okay, so list allows duplicates, and data is maintained in a insertion order. Next, data is maintained in a insertion order. Next, the internal data structure for list is arrays, or in the brackets resizable arrays. It is a resizable array. We'll discuss what is this resizable array. Okay, list is an interface. For this list interface, definitely we need some implementation classes, because only with the interface we cannot do anything. Correct or not? We need some implementation classes. The implementation classes for this list interface is array list. Next, array list, linked list, vector, array list, linked list, vector, and star. So these are the 4 implementation classes for the list interface. Okay. So generally, mainly, collection is called as a group of object is called as a collection. Collections is different. Collection is different words. Collection means what? If you want to write, you can write here. Collection means what? It is a group of objects. If you want to maintain some group of objects, we use collection. Group of objects is called as collection. Collections is a framework. Collection is a group of objects. So this list, set, map, and all these are what? Collections or collection? Collection. Okay. So here, so we'll develop one sample example. Then after that, we'll make some experiments on this array list. Okay. So we use an implementation class. Let us take array list. We'll take. And do you know what is in my homogeneous data?
Same type of data.
Homogeneous data.
Same type of data.
Same type of data. So here, class. Let us take my class name is array list test is a class name. What is the class name? Array list test is a class name. Mainly collection is used to maintain the data. In which collection is which is used to maintain the data. And what is the definition I given here? It is a group of objects. Whereas array is what? Array is a collection of similar data types. Array is a collection of similar data type. If you specify integer only, you can specify, you can maintain only int type of data, or you can maintain only a string type of data or character type of data. But whereas collection is a group of objects. So you can maintain any type of data here. You can maintain a string, or you can maintain integer, or you can maintain a float, double, or character, or a user defined type like class. You can maintain anything in a object. Okay. So array list test. Collection is a main super interface. ఈ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ కి 4 మరి సబ్ ఇంటర్ఫేసెస్ ఉంటాయి బాస్. yes sir. So array list, so we'll create on main method public static void so we created one main method we created. So in this main method, so we'll create an array list. Array list is equals to new array list. Okay. So list dot add of can maintain the data or not? Can maintain the data like this in the array or not? Yes. Yes or no? Come on, boss. You can maintain the data in this format or not? Okay. As per your answer, I asked about what is my homogeneous type. What is my homogeneous?
Similar data type.
Similar type of data. So here, arrays will accept non-homogeneous data, but the collection will accept non-homogeneous data. Okay. So here you need to specify any data type here. For example, if you want to provide a restriction here, I should only discussed generics. If you want to provide a restriction to take only one particular data type, then go for generics. So here I inserted the data into the list. Internally the data is maintained in a array. Array in the sense index, right? So in the 0 position it will take 1, 2, 3. 1 position it will take 1, 2, 3.5. So the second position it will take 1 hash. So we discussed internally it will maintain the data in an array and it is a resizable array. Resizable array in the sense?
Change.
So initially let us take, initially it is going to create the size with 10. Initially it is going to create the size with what?
10.
10 it is going to create. For example, I inserted 10 values, I inserted. A value, 10 values I inserted. Next time when you are inserting 11th value, automatically it will increase. Automatically it will increase. How much it will increase? How much it will increase? So here, initial capacity is equal to, imagine 10. I already inserted 10 values, I already inserted. So it will increase. The new capacity is equals to, the current capacity plus or into. Yes. Yes. So new capacity is equal to current capacity into 3/2 plus 1. For example, already the previous capacity, the initial capacity is, let us take 10. Initial capacity is what?
10.
10. 10 into 15 plus 16. So the new capacity is what?
16.
New capacity is 16. For example, I already inserted, let us take my 16 records also completed. 16 values I inserted, boss. Next, how much it will increase again?
25.
Again, the new capacity is equal to
25.
25. Like it is going to increase dynamically based on your values dynamically. It will increase. No, it will only increase. That's it. Not decrease. They given the specification like that. Same for in the sense. I mean for different interfaces for map or queue. Right, same. So the specification they specify, if you want to increase the value, this is the formula they give. So let's say the file. Let us take ArrayList dot ArrayList test dot Java. So test the application. So these are the list methods, right? So Java C. So first we'll go to the path. So Java C. What is the class name we specified? ArrayList test dot Java. So problem is we have to import whatever the collections. These collections are not available in the lang package. So whatever the classes we are using here, it is available in the util package. So we have to import the util package. Import java.util.start. So there is no any exception. There is no any exception. So now you can compile the code. Java space ArrayList test. So values are inserted or not? Values are inserted. Internally the data will maintain the data in a array. So automatically it will maintain the data in a index. This is stored the data in a 0 position. It is at 1 position. This is at second position. You maintain the data in a same order you insert the data. Okay, if you want to get the data, here, what we have to do? You have to pass an index. By using the index, you can get the value from the list. Okay. So for example, if you want to read the data, which method you have to use here? See, in the collection interface, there is no any method for reading the data. But here, in the list interface, we are having a method to read the data. That is,
Get
what is the method? Get method. And we have to pass. One integer we have to pass. Okay. So based on the index, you can get the value. We inserted the data, we maintain the data in an insertion order in which order you inserted. If you want to get the data, we use what? Get method we will use. Okay. So for example, otherwise directly can print here system.out.println of system.out.println of. If you want to get the values, list.getOf, or otherwise directly can print this one. Which one? List. System.out.println of list I given. Okay. So see the output. What do you get? So Java C ArrayList test.java Java ArrayList. So what is the output we got here? So 123.5 and Mahesh. The data is inserted in the same order or not? Data is inserted in the same order in which order you inserted the data. For example, if you try to give the duplicate, for example, is already 123.5 already given. I'm giving once again the same thing, 123.5. So Java C ArrayList, Java ArrayList. Is it giving any exception? No, right? So meaning the list is allowed the duplicates or not? The list is allowed the duplicate values in which order you inserted the data. The data is also going to be stored in the same insertion order. Okay. So up to this one, fine. Next, see the list interface methods here. The list interface methods. If you see here, add we already used. There is a method called insert. So there is a method called, we already used this method, add method we already used. This is a collection method. Which method? Add method is a collection interface method. Up to hash code is a collection interface methods, right? So remaining these things are list interface method. So here the method is add of int comma e. Add of int comma e. What is the meaning of this statement? List is providing a support of you can add a value in your specified index. You can specify the value at the specified index you can add. There is no any restriction. For example here, so what is the index here? This is 0 index, 1, 2, 3, right? For example, I want to insert one value. List.add of. So list.add of. I want to insert this value at second position. I want to add second comma. So APSS okay. So list.add of. You can specify the specific index. You can specify. I want to add this APSSDC at the second position. Second position in the sense where you get 0, 1. So here you get APSSDC. After that you get Mahesh. So test. So Java C ArrayList test dot Java. So Java space ArrayList test. So the second index position The value is inserted in the second position. 123, 123, 125, ABS and BC. Again, 123. Next, can you add null to the list? Null in the sense what?
Empty.
Empty, right? Null in the sense empty. It's an empty object. For example, in case of integer value, by default int value is what? 0 is specified. In case of float value is also 0. But in case of object, what is the default value for object? Null is the default value for object. So here, this list set and all these things are collections, right? So which is collection means what? A group of objects. So meaning here internally what we are storing here, all these things are objects only. We are adding 1, 2, 3, one object. Which object it is? Integer. Okay. Next float. Next string. All these are the objects. We are maintaining the group of objects. If you are maintaining the group of objects, that is called as collection. One of the collection is list collection we are using here. So you can add a particular object in the specified position. You can add. Next. See what are the other methods. What is this? Index of means. So you can specify some value to the list. If you specify the value, you will get the index you will get. For example, here system.out.println, I want to get the index of. So what is the method name here? List dot. The method is index of. To specify a value 123.5. Going to be confused. List dot index of Mahesh Agira. So what is the output you are expecting here? So what do you get?
3.
So Java C array list test. Java array list test. So what is the index here? 3 is the index. What is the name? What is the value is specified? For example, if I specify 123.5, then what do you get? Because this 123.5 is available in two places, right? Now which index will you get? Both you will get. So Java C array list test, Java array list test. Only first one only. Can you add nulls? Can you add nulls to the list? So we'll test. List dot add of null I'm adding. List dot add of null. So what is the output you are expecting? Can you tell me the exact output of this code? Can you tell me the exact output of this code? What is the output? When you compile this code, what you will get? Tell me the order. Tell me the order. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.5. ABSSBC you will get. Okay. 1, 2, 3.5 and null you will get. Okay. So Java C array list test, Java array list test. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.5 ABSSBC. So you can add the value at any position you can add. Okay. Next, list is providing random access support. List is providing what? Random access support. Random access in the sense the data is stored in an index, right? It's index based, correct or not? So directly, if you specify a specific value, you can get the value from the specific position. For example, I have 10,000 values for my record is available at the 9,900 location. So here you don't need to read the entire all the 9,999 records. Directly you can read which record? Directly you can read that 10,000 record directly you can read. So we have that random access support in list. So this is for reading and for inserting. We have some other methods also there like index of you got already seen. Next, remove. Remove means remove of int. Remove of int in the sense you can pass index. If you pass an index to this remove method, it is going to remove that particular value in that index. What about remove all? So what about clear? What about clear method? So we'll do one thing here. Clear the? So we'll try to understand what is the difference between remove all and the clear. So first, before that, we'll see how we'll remove one value. We'll remove list dot remove of. If you want to remove the particular value, you have to specify the index here. See the interface methods once again. For remove, index you have to pass, or otherwise, already the collection object we have a remove method. Already the collection is also having a remove method as well as in the list also we have a remove method. But collection remove method is taking which object as input? Object as a input. But list interface is taking which object as input? Which parameter as input? Index. So meaning the collection is providing the remove method. For that remove method, we have to pass the object. We have to pass. But for the list interface, if you want to remove a value, you have to pass the index. So here to test both. So remove of. Let us take I specified 0. List dot remove of 0, meaning 0 index value to remove. List dot remove of, let us take Mahesh. So we'll do one thing. Before going to perform these operations, first we'll test the output. Before going to remove the data from this list, first we are printing the values, then after removing them, once again we are. So we'll test the application. So Java C, RLS test, Java RLS test. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, ABSS is Ramesh. Is the one. We remove 2 records. So one is the index we record one thing, another one is we remove by using object we remove. Okay. So you can remove an object from the list by using an index or by using an object. For example, if I specify here list dot remove of null, can you specify? I given list dot remove of null I given. If you specify like this, it will remove the null value or it will give an exception. Null means what? Nothing, right? Empty. Okay. So here we added null is added into the list. Okay. At the time of reading also it is printing the null value. Okay. Next, can we remove the value by passing this one like this? List dot remove of null. All null is removed. Removed, right? So serious make some experiments. If you have any queries, I'll come to you, right? అప్పుడు మీ విన్నపాలు వినిపించుకోవాలి. So next, so any other new methods here? So any other new methods? We have to discuss about remove all, right?
Clear.
Remove all, which is used to remove a collection. Remove all, which is used to remove a collection. It's not for the individual objects. So if you see here, the remove method is there. For the remove method, you can specify what is the input parameter here. Object is the input parameter. But this remove all add method, which is used to add one object. Add all method, which is used to add one collection. If you want to add, we use add all. What is the input parameter here? Java.detail.collection. So here, collection of. If you want to specify some specific index, you can specify the index. Remove all method, which is used to remove a collection. Meaning of this statement is a collection can contain another collection. A collection can contain what? Another collection. So for example here, so we already created one collection, right? This is one collection. So here we'll do one thing. We'll create one more array list. We'll create. This is child list. Let us take. Child list is equals to new array list. Let's specify child list dot add of. We'll add some values here. My hero, heroine. Of course, Rashmi is also there. So we added two values to the list. Okay. No, below the this. So we created a check. We created one more array list. We created, right? Array list contain what? A list contain or a collection contain another collection. So here, but which method you have to use here? If you want to add another collection, which method you have to use? Add method or add all method you have to use? Add method or add all method you have to use? Add method, which is used to add a particular object. Add all method, which is used to add one collection. So here it's another collection. We created another collection. Child list is another collection. So if you want to add this one, we have to add this method. Add all of child list. If you want to add another collection to the collection, we have to use add all. So Java C array list test. Java array list test. See what is the output we got here. First, the collection is your values is added up to which one? Null, and after that, so one more thing is added. Now the output of that. So next, we remove some values. If you want to add other collection values to this collection, then we use what? Add all. For example, here, what will happen? Are you clear up to this? Add all method, which is used to add some other collection values. In place of collection, in place of this add all method, I use add method. What will happen? In place of add all method, which is used to add some other collection values to the collection. Okay, so list.add of I given what? Say child. Child list is also one collection. I'm not using add all here. I'm using add. So Java C array list test. Java array list test. Observe the difference between the previous output and the current output. Any difference? Have you identified? What is the difference? So here, this is not the individual object. This is not the individual. This is not the individual collection object. Already the existing collection object, the existing collection values are added here. But then if you take here, up to this one, up to what? Up to null, this is the main collection. Then after that, this is one more collection object. This is one more collection object. So that's why you got here square. So what is the difference between add and add on? If you want to add the values, of a collection, go for add on. If you want to add that collection object to this one, then go for add method. So for removing, confuse avutunnara? Area. So what is the next one? Same thing. If you want to remove, there is a method called remove. Is a method to specify to remove a particular index. And if you want to remove some particular collection values, then you will specify remove all. So you specify remove all. Specify the collection object to remove all the collection values. Or if you want to remove only one particular value, if you want to remove, just specify the index. You can specify index, or you can specify the object. You can specify. So here, everything is related on, or everything is depends on index here. In case of collections, everything is depends on what? So everything. In case of list, everything is depends on what? Index. Everything is depends on the index. Even if you want to insert, if you want to read, if you want to delete, or if you want to update, if you want to do anything, index is the main key part here. Okay. The list is completely working on index. Okay. So this, by using this list, you can maintain the values. But here, where we cannot use this list and where we have to use this list interface, you have to understand, because we have four collections: list, set, map, and queue. Main thing is you have to understand where we have to use which collection. Based on your requirement, we have to choose where we have to use this list. List is used for reading the data. In the industry, if you have a requirement of reading the data, then you can go for what? List. Only for reading the data. For example, here I want to insert some data into a list. For example, I already inserted 10,000 records. How many records?
10,000.
10,000 records I already inserted. So here, so 10,000 in the sense it is going to allocate some memory blocks or not. So this is index base 0, and next this is 1. Next, this is 1 first index, and this is, let us take second index. So like how many index you will get? 10,000 index you will get. Imagine I already inserted 10,000 fields are already inserted. 10,000 are already inserted. Now the requirement is in the second position. In the second position, I want to insert some value. Already some value is there in the second index. Now I want to add one more value in the second index. This is an index, right? Sorry, 0. Next. I already 10,000 values are already inserted in the list. Now the requirement is I want to insert one value in the second position. Then what will happen? Already second position is having some value, right? So this second position value comes to next which position? Third position. The third position value? Fourth, fifth, sixth. So how many values are going to alert? 10,000 values are going to be changed. So for inserting the data, the list is not preferred and the list is a worst case for inserting the data. The list is only for better and prefer to go for reading the data. Okay. So this is one interface, and apart from these methods, we have other methods also there. It comes to last part. What is this one? List iterator. What is this one? List iterator. You see what is a list iterator? Okay. Shall we see these methods also? Iterator method, list, iterator. Otherwise, anyway we'll discuss in a set concept. We'll discuss about this iterator concept. Okay. So this is the first interface. So which will maintain, or which will allow the duplicates, as well as it will maintain in the it will maintain the data. It will maintain the insertion order. Will maintain and it will allow the duplicates. If you want to, if this is your requirement, then you can go for list. Let us take my requirement is I don't want to allow the duplicates and I don't want to maintain any insertion order. I don't want to allow the duplicates. That's right. In the last I given an example, right? I'm developing one website called babynames.com. In that babynames.com, I don't want to allow the names. For example, if you give the same name in 10,000 places, the people will accept your site? No. So one name only one time. So at that time I don't want to allow the duplicates. And for easy purpose, for easy reading purpose, I want to categorize in ascending order or a descending order. So that user 10,000 values, if you want to search a particular name, it's very difficult. For example, someone given just put a name with the name R for your child. Obviously, I'll search only for R character words. So there, I want to maintain the data in an insertion order. Okay. So at that time, which collection you have to use here? Set. What is the next one? Set. Okay. So set is the next collection. So any doubts in the list here? We have other implementations also there, like linked list, vector, and stack. Okay. Almost all are same. Don't expect 100% knowledge from the faculty. Correct or not? The faculty will give a path, that's it. They will give a brief idea. Then after that you have to dig more. Correct or not? So don't expect each and everything from the faculty. For example, teacher lo, the requirement of ఇలా చేయాలి faculty చెప్తారు. No, right? It is the concept there. So in future, if you have a requirement, then immediately you have to understand, okay, to do this requirement, then we have to use this. Regularly, I am using array list of array list. Regularly, in my regular coding, I will use array list of array list of array list. Lot of places I use. In my project, I use array list of array list of array list. I will get a requirement of maintaining some patient records. Let us say. I'll get a requirement of maintaining some patient records. So how many patients are there? Multiple patients. Multiple patients in the sense you have to create one list. You have to create for each and every patient. So array list of patient. Let us take array list of patient. Again, each patient is having some information like vital information is one thing. Meaning vital information in the sense what is your height, what is your weight, what is your blood pressure, what is your glucose level. For all these things I want to maintain. One more array list I want to maintain. Where help you try to understand. So let us take, I want to maintain a patient record, I want to maintain. So I want to maintain a patient record. Each patient contains some information like what is the name, so what is the age, so what is the gender, so are you suffering with any disease. Next. So like these details. Again, each patient is having the other details like, let us take one more thing, that each patient is having some vital information. Each patient is having what? Vital information. So vital information in the sense, like what is the height, what is the weight? Today, what is your BP level? Next, your glucose level. We are working on one medical project from the last 2 years. So from morning to night, everything is medical terminology on. Okay. So height, weight, BP, glucose. So like this is vital info, let us say. So here, how many patient records I want to maintain? Multiple patient records I want to maintain. So I'll create one array list for the patient. Again, each patient record is having some values, right? What I will do is, I'll store these values into one array list. I'll store these values into one array list. So here, array list of the inner array list I use for the inner array list for vital info, the outer array list for patient. To say frankly, in the real time, you will get very complex requirements for us. Okay. So like this, in some places I use array list also we used. So here, if you know this concept, okay, a list contains other list. If you know this concept, then only when you got a requirement, okay, I want to maintain multiple values, right? Okay, I can go for array list. Again, in a single record, again we have multiple values. So we'll take one more array list in that list. Okay. I want to tell only one thing: don't expect each and everything from the faculty. Okay, because people are going to write 1200 or 1300 pages of book, correct or not? Even a faculty also cannot remember that the 1300 and 1400 pages of data he cannot remember in the mind. And we don't have that much time also to discuss all the things. You understand the list, right? Yes. So you understand one implementation class I given. What is the class name? Array list. So remaining thing, you have a lot of time and you have a lot of energy levels also. Okay, so try to explore more. Energy level. Snacks is color. So what is the next interface? Next interface is what? Set. Set is one more interface for collection. So set doesn't allow duplicates. Set doesn't allow duplicates, and so it will not maintain the insertion order. Set doesn't allow duplicates and set doesn't allow the insertion order, it will not maintain. Internet connection both are continue. Other classes కనిపిస్తుందా? మార్నింగ్ చేసేస్తాం 8 చేసేస్తాం Bootstrap. English bootstrap is there. Bootstrap will mobile application shape. Dynamic application feature. Dynamic applications bootstrap will feature. చేయలే కదా ఓన్లీ స్టాటిక్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా రైట్ స్టాటిక్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి ఇండస్ట్రీలో if you want to present a static type of data you can go for HTML right? Then why you need bootstrap and all HTML plus JavaScript bootstrap చేసే పని HTML plus JavaScript change కదా Last time, I don't know, you remember or not, these people are conducted on workshops. APSS for the workshop communication. January, from January, I don't know exactly. 50 to 90, they conducted one workshop. You never attended it. You never attended anything after annual workshop. ఎవరికి చెప్పదండి I came here. The people say you have to be the training of MIT2. Yeah, MIT2 is just only 10% only static type of data, but nothing we cannot do with that. Even other just other kind of applications developed in the industry. How many people you do a job to develop an Hello World application? Hello World application develop చేస్తే job ఇస్తారా? Same answer I gave them. It's based on time. It's based on their time. Industry will encourage you to have you found any? No. Then unnecessarily you waste how many days? 10 days. 10 days. Knowledges, bases, accommodations. So finally, I left from that contract. But now they realize. They realize. Who are HTML, CSS, and kind of those are not that much difficult course. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. You can learn yourself. Correct or not? You can learn yourself. The Bachelor of Saudi Affairs. See, we are working with some creation of medical colleges. Almost for 2 years. So in that medical project, there are some medical devices like weight device, pulse medical device. So we are integrating those medical devices. Therefore, our medical device was supplying from China because knowledge and some upgrade is. My client wants to give 1 lakh tablets free of cost. It's completely one single platform for the health related everything for patient, for doctor, hospital, medical shops. To implement the project, there are about there. Go and get the site. Yes, sir. Yes. To populate their website, initially they given 500 rupees is free of cost. Right? Paytm is providing 50% and 60% cash bonus, right? Once people are habituated to use Paytm, then slowly they will reduce. Nowadays, no one is using Flipkart, everyone is using Paytm because you get Paytm cash from the Paytm card you use. So my client also wants, he decided to give 1 lakh tablets to different hospitals, different doctors, free of cost. The China people, you know, they don't know English. Chinese people, they don't know English. It's a real fact. For example, if I want to talk with the Chinese people, there is a mediator. Very less people are having the knowledge of English. There is a mediator between person who knows very less Chinese language and so if you want to say anything there, first person name is Arun. So if you want to communicate with the government team in the medical university, so first I wanted to is Arun. And Arun is going to communicate with the technical. Okay, all of the software engineers, right? They don't have any soft skills. They don't have any communication skills. First of all, they don't know English. What they know? Only Chinese and programming. They are not doing the job. They are not doing the job. జాబ్ కొట్టాలంటే ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఇన్షర్ట్ చేయాలి, టై కట్టుకోవాలి, నెక్స్ట్ ఏ కలర్ ప్యాంట్ వేసుకొని వెళ్ళాలి, ఏ కలర్ షర్ట్ వేసుకొని వెళ్ళాలి, ఇవి కాదు నేర్చుకోవాలి. జాబ్ కొట్టాలంటే ఇంటర్వ్యూ సాటిస్ఫై చేయాలి. యూ నాట్ సాటిస్ఫై వేస్తున్నారు ఇన్ని మంచి మన ప్రేక్షకులకి వెళ్ళాము చెప్పండి. అమ్మాయి మదర్ షీఈ్ ఎ లాయర్. షీ ఆస్క్డ్ ఎ క్వశ్చన్. అంత సంపాదిస్తున్నా అంటున్నావు కదా, అది చేయకపోతే ఎట్లా ప్రోత్సహించడం లేదు, ఏం ఆన్సర్ చేస్తారు? I don't want to expose myself to anyone. I don't want to show my status to anyone. Correct? My status is not this. Okay? And in my view, so who likes gold and all? Girls, right? Then what is the need of wearing? What is the need for boys? Famous middle chairs famous. Okay, అమ్మాయిలకు కేక్స్ ఓకే ఫైన్. అమ్మాయిలకు మిల్లర్ చైన్ వేసుకుంటే ఏమొస్తే చెప్పండి. ఎందుకు వేసుకుంటే చెప్పాలా? టు షో దేర్ స్టేటస్. కరెక్ట్ అన్నారు. టు షో దేర్ స్టేటస్ టు సమ్వన్. ఈ స్టేటస్ కి ఫేమస్ సార్. ఇంగ్లీష్ లో గాథలు తీసుకెళ్ళాలి పేరెంట్స్. Finally, they rejected because of they gave me the auto. Because I don't want to show anything, right? For example, this car case when I when you just when you cost and rent the vehicle cost. Then when you just okay. That is not permanent. They're not picture boss. They don't know what exactly they need. Correct or not? So answer. क्या रूम जाता हूँ Finally, one thing I'll say. I went to an interview. All these are the real facts or not? Okay, all these are the real facts. Okay, తమ్ముడు కూడా అంటాడు రోజు ఏంటి ఎలా డ్రెస్ వేసుకుని వెళ్తావు. Okay, next. What the packing, right? ఇలా ఉండడమే ఇష్టం. I feel comfortable. ఇది నా ఇష్టం, నా లైఫ్ బాస్. కరెక్ట్ అన్నా? మళ్ళీ చైన్ వేసుకొని వెళ్ళాలి, కార్ వేసుకొని వెళ్ళాలి, బ్రేజర్ వేసుకొని వెళ్ళాలి. It's fine, right? Once you I went on interview. Interview is an art event. Of course, just 1 year is completed. Now it's 2 years experience. 1 year is completed. So went to some interview. Interviewer asked a question. The passing JSON, he given a task. So it's not a simple. He given a task, write some program for the JSON passing. There is a concept called JSON, JSON. So there is a parser called simple JSON. There is a parser called simple JSON. I am familiar with that simple JSON. So I written the code by using simple JSON. He asked me a question. Why you written the code using simple JSON? I given an answer. I am familiar with simple JSON. And in the question also we have not specified anything. Write a program by using simple JSON or JSON. There are some KPIs. JSON. We have not specified any library. So that's why I written the code by using simple JSON. He said immediately, no, you are talking too much. They will not do the job you can leave. Once again, I requested, sir, please, sir, just give me 5 minutes. I'll write the code according to your requirement. Just I will listen. Once again, he said the same thing. Finally, question paper is there, right? Question paper is there, no, sir, question paper interview is yes. Directly I went to HR. I said only one word. He is not the right person to take the interview for me. In your company, you have any eligible person to take the interview. Arrange the interview. Otherwise, I. This is the answer. ఏదైనా మిస్టేక్ ఉందా అక్కడ చెప్పండి. Given an ask, but in the question there is no any clarity. So I given my own answer given, and there is no any my mistake. After 2 days, HR made a call. Amish, we review that person. We arrange one more person for the interview. So come once again. I don't want to come once again. I don't want to show my face right there. You are not people. Are we about it? If you have that much stuff really, you no need to worry, and you don't need to wait for any jobs. Automatically the jobs will come to you. ఇప్పుడు నేను 5 కంపెనీలో పని చేస్తున్నాను బాస్. ఫ్రాంక్గా చెప్పాలంటే ఐఎమ్ వర్కింగ్ ఇన్ 5 కంపెనీస్ అండ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 20 hours in a day. 20 hours in a day I'm working. Saturday, Sunday only I will sleep 6 hours and 7 hours. Because of there are very less people in the market who is having the subject. Frankly cheppalante, there are very less people who are having the knowledge or subject in the market. Out of 10 people, I can say only 1 people is having the knowledge. అమ్మాయిలకైతే లక్కీగా జాబ్స్ వస్తాయి బాస్. అబ్బాయిలకైతే కష్టపడితే జాబ్స్ వస్తాయి. ఒక్కసారి జాబ్ వచ్చాక కష్టపడతారా? మీరు వర్క్ చేసే వాళ్ళని చూడండి, ఎవరన్నా ఒక్కసారి జాబ్ వచ్చాక దే విల్ నాట్ గెట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ టు రీడ్ అండ్ టు వర్క్. ఎప్పుడో క్రీస్తుపురం నేర్చుకున్న సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది కదా, అది అట్లాగే మైండ్లో ఉంటుంది, దాంతోనే రన్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు గెట్ సమ్ గుడ్ పొజిషన్స్ ఇన్ ద ఇండస్ట్రీ, దే హ్యావ్ టు అప్డేట్ ఆర్ నాట్. They have to update. If you update continuously, then only you will get a bright future. Otherwise, unnecessarily we wasted 50 minutes of time, right? No. So okay, we'll discuss about set. Set doesn't allow what? Duplicates, and set will not allow the insertion order. So here, for this set, the implementations for this set is, one is hash map. Okay. The implementations for this set interface, the implementation classes for the set interface is what? Sorry. not hash map, hash set, and linked hash set. The implementations for this set interface is hash set and linked hash set. First, we'll discuss this hash set and the linked hash set part. And in the set only, there are two interfaces are there. These are the two implementation classes. What are the two implementation classes? Hash set and linked hash set. Okay. So apart from these two implementation classes, we have two more interfaces are there. We'll discuss what are the two more interfaces. So first we'll work, we'll work on this set, then we'll go for the remaining two interfaces. The set is having not any new methods. In case of list is having some methods, right? If you compare to collection, the list is having some new methods. But in case of set, we don't have any new methods. So Java C, first see the methods of the set. Java P, java.util.set. Is there any method? Is there any method in the collection and the set? Up to hash code, there is the same, right? Yes. Equals. So up to hash set, there is no any new method in the set. Okay? Hash code next. Equals is hash. Everything is same. So there is no any new method in the set. Okay. So set will not allow the duplicates, will not allow the any insertion order. So we'll develop some sample example to demonstrate this set. Class set test. The set test class will create on main method. Public static void main. Just to get a main method. So set is an interface, right? Set is an interface. So what are the implementation classes for this interface? One of the implementation classes hash set. Set is equal to new hash set. Okay. So we'll give some values to this one. Set dot. If you want to add, what is the method? So set dot add of, we'll insert some values here. Let us take. So it will not allow the duplicates and it will not allow the insertion order. So let us take, I given Mahesh, Rajesh I given. So once again I given Mahesh. Okay. So we'll test the output here. So system.out.println of set. Okay. Meaning we are printing the entire collection we are printing here. We are not reading the individual values. If you write like this, system.out.println, we are printing the entire collection we are printing, not the individual values we are printing here. Okay. So here, first say the code. Set test dot Java so Java C Java C. So what is the class name is specified? Set test dot Java. problem with imports. Just we have to import. So import java dot util dot star. So Java C. So what is the class name? Set test dot lesson of the story ఏంటంటే పక్కన వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడతారు. Java C, set test, Java, set test. So what is the output we got here? Rajesh, Lokesh, Mahesh, and is there any insertion order here? No, right? Which order we inserted? Mahesh, Rajesh, and Lokesh we inserted. Duplicates is not allowed. That's the first thing, and insertion order is also not allowed. Okay. So now, for example, I want to read the data. So here we are printing the entire values we are printing, meaning entire collection we are printing. I don't want to print the entire collection. I want to get the values, individual values I want to get from the set. Individual values I want to get from the set. So how to get the individual values from the set? So Java P, java.util.set. These are the methods in the set, right? How to get the individual values? Is there any method? Is there any method to get the individual values? There is no any method. There is no any get method, right? In case of list, we have a get method. If you pass an index, you will get a particular object we get. But here we don't have any index here. If you want to get the values here, we have a class called iterator. There is a method here. There is a method called what? Iterator is a method. So by using this iterator method, we can read the values from a collection. This is not only for set boss. This is for any collection. Even for list, for set, for map also you can use this iterator. Okay. So here, if you want to read the list, if you want to read the individual values, what is the method you have to use? What is the method you have to use? Iterator method you have to use. So just commenting this logic. Set object dot, what is the method? Iterator is a method. Set dot iterator is a method. What is the return type of this method? What is the return type of this method? The return type of this method is, what is the return type of this method? The return type of this method is an iterator class. What is the return type of this method? It's an iterator class. So here, so the return type of this method is iterator. It is equal to set dot iterator is a method. So how many values we are having? How many objects we are having? We don't know, right? There may be n number of objects in a set. So I want to get the individual objects I want to get. So how to get the individual objects? How to get the individual objects? So here, while, what is the return type of this method? The return type of this method is, what is the class name? Iterator, right? So first see the methods of iterator class. So Java P Java dot util dot iterator. See, what are the methods in the iterator? In the iterator method, we have only three methods: as next, and remove. These are the three methods in the iterator class. So has next method, what is the return type of has next? Boolean type. So here, while it dot has next is a method, this method will tell you whether the values are available in the iterator or not. The values are available, meaning first initially the cursor pointed Once we call as next method, the cursor quantity comes to zero position. In the zero position, if the value is available, then we enter into the loop. The value is available to enter into the. So in this loop, we'll print the values. So how to, if you want to get the value, then what is the method you have to use? This has next method will tell you whether the value is available or not in the position. But I want to get the value. If you want to get a value, which method you have to use? Next method we have to use. So here, while it.asNext system.out.println of system.out.println of, if you want to get the value, it.next is a method to print a value. So how many values are available or how many objects are available in the set, that many times this loop is going to be repeated. So you get the values. Shall we test? Iterator is a method. Iterator is a class. So he's asking a question. So at left side equivalent capital I, right side equivalent small I, because iterator is a method. So method declaration should be small case. So class declaration should be capital case. So here iterator is a class and right side iterator is a method. Yes, sir. So we test a code. So Java P, Java C set test, Java set test. So you got the values, Rajesh, Lokesh and Mahesh. So insertion order is not maintained here, and duplication is not allowed. And if you want to read the values, there is no any index. Okay, by using iterator we can read the values. Next, for example, my requirement is, shall we add null? Set will accept nulls. Shall we test? Set will accept nulls or not? Set will accept null. We test. So Java C set test. Comment it. So set is also accepting null. For example, 2 times if you give null, only one null you will get. Okay, because it will not allow the duplications. So this is, if this is your case, this is your requirement, then you can go for hash set. Insertion order will not maintain and duplicates will not allow. My requirement is I don't want to maintain the duplicates, but I want to maintain the insertion order I want to maintain. What is the requirement? I don't want to allow the duplicates, but I want to maintain the insertion order I want to maintain. Okay. So here in the notes we given hash set. What is the next one? Linked hash set. So we have to use this one. The linked hash set we have to use. If your requirement is don't allow the duplicates and accept the insertion order, then go for linked hash set. So here in our code we'll create an object for should we test the code? Java set test. In which order you inserted the data, you'll get the data in the same order. Mahesh, Rajesh, Lokesh, and Naga. Your requirement is don't allow the duplicates and maintain the insertion order. Then go for link hash. Okay. So this is the two implementation classes for which interface? Set interface. So in that set interface, so we have two more interfaces in the set interface. That is, we have two more interfaces in the set interface. That is, initially I given the nine interfaces list, right? What is the next one? Sorted set and the navigable set. Okay. So here, up to now we discussed three interfaces. We discussed collection. We discussed next list. We discussed set. We discussed three interfaces are completed. So the next fourth and fifth one is sorted set and the navigable set. For example, my requirement is I don't want to allow the duplicates and I want to arrange the data in a sorting order. I don't want to allow the duplicates and I want to maintain the data in a sorting order. I want to maintain the data. Whatever it may be, the sorting technique, internal sorting technique, but I want to, we can specify that one also. But my requirement is this one. I don't want to allow the duplicates and I want to maintain the data in a sorting order. I want to maintain the data. At that time, we'll go for which interface? The sorted set. So at that time, we'll go for the sorted set. So see, what is the method? It's a separate interface, right? This interface is a subtype of set. This sorted set is a subtype of set. Again, set is subtype of collection. Sorted set is a subtype of set, and set is a subtype of collection. So you'll see what are the methods in this sorted set. So Java P Java dot util dot sorted test. Sorted set. So public interface java.util.sorted set, it is a subtype of java.util.set. It is having few methods like comparator, next, subset, headset, dialset, first and last. These are the additional methods we are having in the sorted set. In case of set, we don't have any new methods. The same collection methods we got in the set. But in case of sorted set, we got additionally 6 methods we got here. The comparator, subset, headset, tailset, first and last. So for example, we'll discuss these methods one after another. We'll see. The first comparator method, which is used to specify your own sorting order. If you want to specify, you can specify by using comparator. But generally, you will never get a requirement of specifying your own sorting order. So for example, in case of if you insert a number type of data automatically, it will take some sorting technique, it will take and will arrange the data. In case of string type of data, it will take. What is the next one? Subset. I think it's better. Programmatically, we'll understand all these methods. What is subset? What is headset? What is tailset? Next. First and last. You see, what is the return type of these methods? The subset, headset, tailset. What is the return type of these methods? Again, it is also a set. Again, it is also a set. Mainly, this sorted set we use to arrange the data in a sorting order. In case of last time we used hash set. Is there any sorting order? No, right? No, right? Okay, randomly it is given the data. There is no any order. If you want to arrange the data in sorting order, then we will go for this sorted set. Next, what is the next interface? Java P, java.util.navigable set. Java.util.navigable set is another interface. The name itself is describing. The name itself is describing it's a navigable set. The name itself is describing navigable set. This navigable set is a subtype of which class? Sorted set.
Okay.
You will get the sorted set methods as well as you get some additional methods like lower, floor, ceiling, higher. So mainly this is for mainly these navigable set which is used for some navigation purpose. Right now I am reading the data from one object. I want to get what is the next of this object. So we use this method. What is the method name? So there is a method called which is used for navigation purpose. Let us take it first. So mainly this navigable set which is used for navigation purpose. The name itself is describing it's a navigable set. Okay. So the implementation for these two classes, the sorted set and the navigable set, the implementation for these two classes is tree set. What is the implementation for these two interfaces? Tree set is an implementation. For the set, what is the implementation? Hash set is another implementation. Hash set and linked hash set. So for these two interfaces, for sorted set or the navigable set, the implementation for these two interfaces is tree set. So here Java P Java dot util dot tree set. There are number of methods are there. Of course. So it is here. Observe here. Tree set extends abstract set, implements Java.p.navigable set, Java.line.clonable, Java.io.serialize. It is providing the implementation for multiple interfaces, serializable, clonable, and the navigable set. So that's why you got a lot of methods. So we'll see one after another. Now I want to develop an application for the sorted set. We'll see whether it is inserting the data in a sorting order or not. And we have some methods in the sorted set like these are the methods: subset, headset, tile set, first, last. We'll check all these methods. Then we'll go for the next navigable set. Okay. So we'll create a new class. We'll create. Let us take class name is tree test is a class name. Let us take tree set test. Tree set test is a class name. So public static void main. Just we create a main method we created. So we'll create an object for what? Tree set or sorted set. Set is equals to new. Can you write the logic like this? Can you write the logic like this? What is the meaning of this statement? Subclass instance is taken into a super type reference. So what is a super type for this tree set? Sorted set. Okay. So you can take. So we'll insert some data into this one. Let us take set dot add up. Not insert an order. Okay. Is there any order in the data? No, right? So print the values here. System.out.println. System.out.println of set. System.out.println of set with you. Okay, just save it. preset test dot java. So what is the class name? Java C. What is the name we given?
Reset.
Preset test dot java. Import java dot util dot star. So Java C space reset. In which order we inserted and what is the output we got here? Data is arranged in a sorting order or not? Data is arranged in a sorting order. So if you want to arrange the data in a sorting order, then you can go for sorted set. To insert few more records. Any other Annaya names? Any other Annaya movie names? Ani, Bobby. Can you spell out? So in between, we'll add some. In between, we'll add some number. So what is the output 8 bit? Save it. We'll compile the code and test the output. Java C reset.java Java reset. Java.line.string not be cast to integer. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this one? Class cast exception java.lang.string cannot be cast to what? Integer. Where you are converting the string value to integer? So here you cannot give the combinations, you cannot give. Either you can specify only integers or only numbers. So for example, I want to provide this restriction. Double question. String only. So Java C reset Java reset first. Obviously, the first priority goes to number one. Even in your mobile contacts also, you don't specify anything. The first priority goes to number one. So here, if you want to provide a restriction, for example, user is given a number. So how can you provide a restriction here? At compilation time only, I want to give a restriction here. So how to give a restriction? By applying generics here. So here, if you specify string here, so if you specify string, what will happen? Previously we got the error at runtime, right? Previously we got the error at runtime. So now at compilation time only we got here. So no suitable method found for add of int. Only you can add which type of data? String. Object type of data we can add to the set. Okay. So to provide the compile safety, you can specify this one. There is no any method to insert empty set. So here in the tree set we have some, not in the tree set. In the sorted set, we have some methods, right? In the sorted set, we have some methods. You know what are the methods in the sorted set? Java P, Java.util.sorted set. These are the methods. Like silly about the comparator, which is used to specify your own sorting technique. Generally, you will never get a requirement, and you will never get a requirement of specifying your own sorting order. Next, subset, will see that subset first and last. When you call first in a sense, you get a first value. Last in a sense, last value will get. Next, headset in a sense. What is the return type of headset? The return type of headset is what? Sorted set. Meaning here, if we specify first and last, we get the first value and last value. If we specify head, what is the method name here? Headset. If we specify the method is headset, for example, I specified the previously what is the output we got here? One second. So what is the output we got here in this program? So Java tree set test. So this is the output we got, right? For example, if we specify here, for example, headset of, let us say, Murari again. So before Murari, some values are there, right? So these values will get when you specify headset. So when you specify tile set, so after this Murari, whatever the values are there, so these values will get in a new set. We'll get a new set of it, we'll get in that set contains these values. Next, what about subset? Subset, we have to pass two values here. If you pass two values, what are the values in between the two values to get those values? So here, we'll see all these things. For example, here, we are printing the entire values first of all, we are printing the entire values we are printing. What are the values we inserted? We are printing all the values. Then after that, I am calling set dot. What is the method name? Headset is a method. For this headset method, I am specifying, let us take Duguru. So what are the values before this Duguru? You will get all the values. You will get one value or multiple values. Multiple values. So multiple values in the sense, the return type of this method is also, once again, it is a set. Okay, set. Let us take head values. Set head values is equal to set dot head test. Next, so if you want to get the tile values, tail is equal to tail set of Duguru again. Okay, so we'll print these two things. System.out.println of system.out.println of head and tail. Okay, so test application. So Java C reset test, Java reset test. So what we specify? Duguru is specified. We call headset. So before the Duguru values we got here in separate list. Tail set in the sense, after the Duguru values we got a separate list. Subset in the sense. So let us take, I'll specify, let us take, we'll specify bunny and cooking. Okay, so we'll get the values, between values we'll get here. So let us take subset values is equal to set dot. So what is the method here? Subset is a method. We have to specify two values, we have to specify here. The two values will specify, one is bunny, second thing is what? What we unnamed set and forget one thing. Sub values is equal to sub values. So first one is the tail, is the entire values. It is head values, tail values, and sub values. Right? And easily you can understand the first and last. You get the first value and the last value in the set. So okay. So this is this subset. Okay. So if your requirement is maintain the data in a sorting order, then go for which set? Sorted set. The implementation class for this sorted set is reset. So next one is a navigable set. In very rare cases you need a requirement. Apart from these methods, which contains the name itself is describing navigable, which is mainly used for navigation purpose. So for example, I want to read the next value, I want to get the previous value. So for navigation purpose, mainly we use this navigable set. Okay. So completed. Today there is no break. Come on, boss. In the movies, you'll get break at what time? 1 hour 15 minutes, right? But almost we started 2 hours back. It's an English movie. There is no any interval in the English movie. So first, we'll complete that navigable set part. We'll complete. Then after that, we'll take a break. James Gosling వచ్చి క్లాసెస్ చెప్పిన జేమ్స్ గాస్లిన్ ఎవరో తెలుసా? So he's a founder of Java. Okay. So James Gosling వచ్చి క్లాస్ అని చెప్పిన మనం అవే కదా. సో మన మాత్రం ఎవరు? మనం మాత్రం మార్చాలని ట్రై చేస్తున్న వాళ్ళ భ్రమ. కరెక్ట్ అన్నాడు. So in the navigable set, Java P, Java dot util dot navigable set. So these are the additional methods we are having. Some lower, higher, some tool first, tool last, subset. There are some methods. There's any one other method. Anyway, you also can test your code. Let us say we'll call higher methods. Abstract or tool first or tool. So here, let us say we'll call this tool first method. So here, so what is the method in place of this sorted set? Now which one you are using? Navigable set. Okay. So these methods are same. The navigable set is also having all these methods. Apart from these methods, we are having the set dot. What are the methods? So pool first. And what is another method? Pool last is another method, right? Pool first and pool last. We have to specify some object name. We have to specify. Let us take I specify. So pool first and pool last. So Java C preset test dot Java. Cannot find a simple pool first. So method name is correct. If the method name is correct, Java P, Java dot util dot navigable set.
Vivo.
Vivo poll first. Okay. So Java C reset. We create an object for which class? Navigable set on, right? What is the exception we got here? Cannot be applied to the given types. Set pool first. Required no arguments. Form string is same. So method is taking any input parameters. The pool first and pool last. The poll first and poll last. No, right? There is no any. But what will you print? Java. So what the first value and last value? First and last value got poll first and poll last. Discuss chess. So use the next one lower and higher ways. System.out.println of lower and higher. Let us take set.lower and set.lower and set.higher. So Java C reset. So we have to give some value here. So 1 and So bunny is which is what we specified actually. Two is specified. What is the method name we call? Lower we call lower beta. Lower we call maybe beta. Fixed value. So mainly this navigable set which is used for mainly for navigation purpose. The next, the last. Okay. So for all this for navigation purpose we use navigable set. So two collections have been completed, list and set. So we have two more things, that is queue and map. Okay. My humble request, take a small break and come back quickly because we don't have that much time. Okay. So take a it's micro break. Okay.
Excuse చేద్దామని అక్కడ
నిలబడుకుంటే కొన్ని వస్తానండి పోయిందా మన క్లాస్ ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది ఊరికే ఇప్పుడు ఆ నిలబడుకోండి రోజు తర్వాత వచ్చి జనాలు వస్తారు కదా ఒకసారి చూడండి మొత్తం సరౌండింగ్స్ ఇదేదో చెప్తున్నట్లు ఫీల్ అవ్వండి ఫీల్ వస్తుంది అప్పుడు ఆడే నిలబడుకోండి ఆ పేరు అంతే
నేను మాత్రం మా క్లాస్ స్టేజ్కి అందరితో మాట్లాడతాను అలా స్టేజ్ మీద.
So what is the next collection? So what is the next collection? So next collection is the very rarely used collection to invest. Class is started, madam. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
We start. The next collection is what? So next collection is Q. It's very rarely used collection. Very rarely used experiment using this collection. Easily you can say what is the Q. First in, first out. Maintain in it. Maintain some order to execute in some specific order to execute. Okay? So you don't want to waste much time on discussing this Q. So Q is an interface. Q is an what? It's an interface. So we'll see what the interface contains. So see interface methods Java P, Java dot util dot. So these are the methods. These are the methods in the Q interface. I hope you heard about these things. P, pop. What is in the Q here? Q means first in, first out, right? Q means what? First in, first out. So have you heard about these things? Peak, pop, pool. Periodically, when you're discussing about data structures, of course it's first year. You're BTech first year, right? Okay. So the data structures concept will get these terminologies. What is in the pool and what is in the peak? Pool, peak, pop. Add method if you want to add some value to the collection. Next, pool in the sense. So we'll see these two things, pool and peak. Okay. So these are the two additional methods we are having in the queue. Okay. So next. So this queue is an interface. Queue is an interface. The implementation classes for this queue interface is priority queue is one thing, priority queue. Next, DQ is one thing. DQ is one more implementation class for the queue. So if you want to see all the list of classes, for example, if you know some specific class, if you you want to see the methods we are using, this Java P keyword we are using, to see the list of methods in the class and interface. For example, I want to know what are the classes which is available in the java.util. I want to know what are the classes which are available in the java.util package. So how to know the list of classes? How to know the list of classes? Have we explored? So go to the Android SDK, go to the Java SDK location. So go to the Java JDK. So Java JDK location, in the JDK you'll find a file called src.zip. src.zip. What is it by this src.zip? Source code, right? So have we extracted? We'll extract this. The JDK folder you will get this src. Is it extracted? How to extract this? So use extract. So here we'll get the complete source code of Java. You'll get src. So right now you're using which package? Java package you are using. In Java, we are using which library? Util, right? Util package we are using. So in Java, it's not extracted. So Java dot which package? So util package. In util package, so all these are the classes. Let us take any C, any class with a D, Q. Abstract Q is an implementation for the abstract Q. Next, DQ is another implementation for the Q. Next, array DQ. So enum set, hash map, hash set, hash table. So all these are the list of classes. All these are the list of classes in the java.util. It's not a dot class file. It is what? It's a dot. It's a dot. Java file it is. Java file in the sense. One of the feature of Java is what? One of Java feature is what? Open source, right? Open source means what? The complete source code is exposed to the public. So this is a complete source code is exposed. Correct or not? For example, if you want to see what this navigable map contains, you can see this one. There is no proper editor. If editor is there, then you will get the complete source code. Edit with Node++. So this is the class. It's a class or interface, navigable map. Navigable map is that interface because we have not discussed up to now this navigable map. We discussed. Okay. So here, this is open source. Like if you want to see the number of classes, directly you can extract this src folder and you can see the number of classes in the specified folder. So we are discussing about Q. So one of the implementation for the Q interface is, so Q is one interface. Q is one interface. One of the implementation for this Q is priority. So priority queue is one of the implementation for the Q. Priority queue is one implementation. Next, with A also one queue. Abstract queue is one implementation. Like we have some few implementations. If you have some time, just search here. You'll get the implementations. Okay. So here, what is the implementation? What is the Q is an interface, right? What is one of the implementation for this? Q is priority. Okay. So we'll insert some data by using Q. It's like I'm creating a class. Let us take Q test. Public static void just we created main method we created. So now we insert some data. So Q is an interface, right? Is equals to. So one of the implementation for this Q is what? Priority Q. So if you want to insert some data, what is the method name? What is the method to insert the data? By using add method, you can insert some data, right? Next, I want to read the data. If you want to read the data, it's okay. We added the data by using add method to the queue. So we'll print the values system.out.println of system.out.println of. Say this one. qtest.java. So compile the code. So Java C qtest.java. Static import java.util.start. Java space qtest. Lokesh, Rajesh, and Mahesh got the values. Same order we inserted. Which order it is printed? Reverse order. Because we printed the entire object we printed, right? So meaning the queue also it will not maintain the data. It will not maintain the insertion order. Queue also will not maintain the insertion order. In which order you inserted the data, it will not maintain the insertion order. Next. So we'll test whether it will accept the duplicates or not. Please accept it. Okay. So Lokesh, Rajesh, Mahesh, Rajesh. Lokesh, Rajesh, Mahesh, Rajesh. But now the order is different, right? So here queue is also not maintaining any insertion order. For example, I want to read the individual values I want to read. Then how to read? We are having some methods right in the queue. So we are having some methods in the queue, that is so java p java.util. So test all the cases, okay, whether it is inserting the null or not. Okay, just test yourself. Okay, so we are having some methods right, peek and put. We'll test these methods. Peek and what is another one? So Java C qtest Java qtest. What is the meaning of this? Any other method? Long back I learned about so keep aside. We'll discuss this. What is this queue? Okay. I told you right. It's very rarely used queue in the industry. Very rarely used collection. We never use it in the industry. Okay. So we'll discuss this part. Okay. So keep aside. So what is the next one? So we'll discuss about the queues. Okay, it's not completed. We'll discuss because everything is difficult to remember here, right? Your college faculties will by head. They will teach on hour. Okay. So every day I have to take 6 to 7 hours. So it's difficult everything to by head, right? You know, I never read. Before going to come to the class also, I never read. I'll come to the class and I'll teach here directly. Just give me some time. I'll give the complete clarity on what is queue. Okay. Now I have to open some notes now. So what is the next one? Map. Map is not a collection. Map is not a collection. Okay. So only we are having the initially I given statement. Collection is a main. Collection is a main root for these collections. Which collection? List, set, queue, and map. For map, queue is not a. If you want to see here, if you want to see Java P, Java dot util dot map. So Java dot util dot map. This map is an interface. This map is an interface. This interface is not some type of any collection interface. Is it a some type of collection interface? No, right? If you take queue or if you take set or if you take list, these three things are the subtype of collection interface. But map is not the subtype of collection interface. So map is not the subtype of collection interface. Generally, what is so obviously we will not get the map method, or obviously we will not get the collection methods here. What are the methods? Add. We are having some methods, right? Is empty, size. So those methods we will not get into this map. So here for this map, interface java.dd.map is where we had to pass two parameters. What is the first parameter? Key we had to specify. Next one is value. Meaning in the map it will maintain the data in a key comma value pairs. In the map the data is maintained what? In a key comma value pairs it will maintain the data. Meaning if you want to store one value, we had to specify a key we had to specify. In case of list or set or queue, directly we store the objects. Have you given any name for the object? For example, I want to get so and so object. Directly I have the person name I have. I want to get Mahesh data I want to get. So can you give the object name to get the data? No, right? Okay. So here, in case of map, we maintain the data in a key comma value pairs. So here also we are maintaining the data, but it's not subtype of collection interface, but it is a part of collections. It is also a part of collections. Mainly what is in the collections? Which is used to maintain the data. To maintain the data, this is also one of the approach. Okay. So mainly map means what? So map is used to maintain. Map is used to maintain. Map is used to maintain. Map is used to maintain the data in a key comma value pairs. Map is used to maintain the data in a key comma value pairs. So meaning if you want to store a value, we had to specify what? One key we had to specify. With one key, how many values you can store? Only one value. So duplications will allow. In case of value, duplications will allow. For keys, duplications will not allow. For values, duplications will allow. Okay. So map is used to maintain the data in a key comma value pairs. So be clear. If you want to store a value, you have to specify one key. Value, it may be anything. It may be a number, or it may be a float, or anything. Object. It may be anything. Okay. Object. For the object, we are going to specify one name. We are going to specify name in the sense nothing but the key. Okay. So here, map is an interface, right? Map is an interface. So here, the implementation for this map, one of the implementation for this map is hash map. Hash map is another implementation for the map. Okay. So now, we'll look at some sample example. We'll see how to insert the data into what, how to read the data from the map by using hash map. So if you want to see the methods, Java P, Java dot util dot hash map. Hmm? Hash map is there, right? Given capital is hash map. So java.util dot hash map. So these are the methods. So there are a number of methods are there. Mainly, if you want to insert the data into, a hash map, we use this method. What is the method? What is the method which is used to insert the data? And if you want to get the data, there is a method called get is a method. So what is the input parameter you have to pass for this get? Object, or you have to specify the key you have to specify. If we specify the key for the get method, we will get a value. Okay? For inserting the data, we use put methods. For reading the data, we use get methods. To get the data, we have to pass a key. We have to pass. Okay. So we'll develop one sample example for demonstrating this hash map. So we'll create a class. Let us take hash map test. So public static void. Okay. Hash map test is a class name. So here we are working for map, right? Map. So map is equals to new hash map. So you have to understand one thing here. For a value, you can specify anything, but for the key, we have to specify only string. Only we have to specify, right? Okay. So if you want to insert the data into map, we use which method? Map dot. Which method you use? Put method you use. I guess. Let's take ID. I told you that you can insert any type of data, but key is mandatory here. Okay. So we inserted the data into map. Let's save it. Hash map test dot java. So Java C. So what is the class name? Hash map test dot java. Oops. So you have to import, right? there is no problem at insert. So if you want to read the data from the map, map dot, so we'll write system dot out dot println map dot get out key will specify name. So map dot get out will specify an ID, will specify an so we inserted the data by using key comma value, and at the time of reading the data, what we had to specify? We had to specify, for example, if you give some wrong key, then what will happen? So will you get the value? So what we got? Null we got. So if there is no value with the specified key, so null will get there. Okay. So practice up to this. Okay. So in our next class, we'll explore more on this hash map, and we have another two interfaces are there. In the map, we have another two interfaces. One is navigable. Sorted hash map is one thing. Sorted hash map or sorted map? Sorted map. Another thing is navigable map. So we have two more interfaces we have to discuss, and queue also we have to discuss. Okay. So these three things we will discuss in our next session. Okay. So practice on this, and I told you, right, there are n number of implementation classes out there for the array list, for the set and all. Just for demonstration are given only for the array list. There are other remaining things are there: linked list, mix, vector, stack. Okay. So work out on all these things. Okay.